Hey guys, AlphaStarDX here, and tonight we're going to be playing with the old Windows 98 image. Let's see, which one am I going to do? How about this one? God, that sound brings back so many memories. Oh, that's why. There we go. Okay. Now there were some speed issues with this, but I should still be able to make it run. So, here we go. Yeah, again, I tried to do something with this the first time I ever played it, but it just all out refused to cooperate with me, whether it was with an image or the physical CD. So ignore all of that stuff. And let's just get to the real thing. Now, most of you know how the game works in and of itself. There's a 4-piece code that you have to figure out, and you do so with pegs. It looks something like this. There's no green anywhere in the code. That red peg says that something is in the right place. So there's a yellow in the code. White means it is out of place, so yellow goes elsewhere. Ooh, fantastic. Okay, so one of the reds is right. I'll have this in 2 more guesses. Okay. Then this must be the code. Let me get just a little more practice in. This that I'm doing is pretty much basic strategy. It'll get you through this mode without any trouble whatsoever. This looks familiar. Okay, so 2 of the whites are fine. Maybe. All right. Does this straighten it out? No, that eliminates it entirely. So is it this or this? So you lose a certain number of points after each guess. There's a fixed number attached to each line, and you lose 1 point for every second that goes by. So the first one on this mode costs you 100 off of a start of 700. Second guess is also 100. Third guess is 100 again. Okay. Last couple guesses were 50 apiece. Alright, what happened? That white is fine, the yellow was not. The orange must go there, which means this is it. So that's how I did in 3 games. The plus mode is the same thing, except now there are blank spaces to play with. I'm only going to do this once. Okay, no blanks. This is still simple enough that you really, if you know what you're doing, you have no business not solving this thing if you're using this basic strategy. See, this also weeds out the situation where there's 2 of one color. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it had to be one permutation or another. Alright. The next step down would be either of the junior games. Alright. Start on basic. Yeah, it's a jungle out there. Let's demonstrate this then with this one, which will hopefully be a little less noisy. Junior Sci-Fi. Yeah, this isn't nearly as bad. So easy is different in that you don't have to get the pieces in the right order. You just have to find them all. In this mode, you truly have no business whatsoever not cracking this. I also was never able to get the music working on this, but I believe what I can do, let's get out of this for just a moment so that I can hopefully do this. Can I pluck the music from somewhere? Might be able to do it from here. Or maybe I'll just do this another way. I have a couple of the songs that I really enjoyed from this soundtrack, so I'll just play them. Let's see. Oh, just these two? I'll have to fix that. Anyway, let's do this. step on up to the Millennium Challenge. This is the same game, except you've got 8 color pigs to work with. Drop music. Just a bit. There we go. There are 4 computer players in the challenge modes. Andre, Norman, Carl, Max. The number beside them represents their skill level. I'm going to do this on the basic type just to demonstrate. 12 lines this time, 8 potential pieces. I don't want to set the code. The computer can do that. He'll start, and he's fast, so there's really nothing fair about this one because of the speed issue. I'm really only doing this to demonstrate that these modes exist. I should be able to beat him with absolutely no trouble as far as actually solving it goes. Honestly, this guy's usually such a schoonob that he can't do it, period. Okay. Keep moving that one on. Fantastic. Oh, really? Is he actually going to beat me? Nope, got him. We barely got it in time. Let's see how this dude with big brain does. Watch their facial expressions too. They'll change according to whether they gain progress or lose progress. See, now he's got a worried look. Despite the fact that I found absolutely nothing up to now. Oh, finally. Alright, the eye is set. That means there are some doubles in here. Maybe even a triple. Okay. Yeah, that was the worst that could have happened. Truly. He barely gets it. I usually have trouble with this guy. Not in terms of actually cracking the code. But in terms of beating him to it. And you can see why he pulled a lucky hit here. Ooh. I got extremely lucky. This guy, I've maybe only ever beaten once, and I was a kid at the time. Had to have been a lucky break of some sort. I'll tell you this, you'll never beat him by basic measures like the ones I'm taking. So now I put myself in a corner because I'm not necessarily sure which one was right. And he's got nothing but red over there. Yeah, there you go. Damn, one line short. Oh well. Here's another mode. Let's play with a bomb. This time you've got 3 minutes to crack this one. Also, it's a random selection which computer head goes up there. It really has no bearing on you doing this. Nice. Now, the only one that gives me any kind of hard time is this mode here. And I discovered not long ago that there's actually a glitch on this last mode. I'll explain it if I get there. But if not, whatever, so be it. So here's the deal. This time you have the 8 symbols from Millennium Challenge, but they can each be 3 different colors. So now you're not only factoring color and position, you're also factoring in symbols. So you've got 3 elements to play with. That being said, there are 3 types of pegs. You have the solid reds, which means you've got something in the right place, right color, right everything. You have red with white stripes, which means that 2 of the 3 factors, color, position, symbol, are correct. So you have to brain that one out if you find it. Solid white kind of gives you a little help. It tells you that you have something correct in color and symbol, but it is not in the right position in the code. So that, in a way, is also a 2 out of 3 peg. And then you have the blanks, which say something's too far off. I'm going to try and explain this as I go, because this is going to be really tough to truly, like, work out. Well, I always start with this. So this tells me there are no stars and there are no whites. That tells me no orange, no yellow, and no cross. So everything is RGB. That'll actually make it possible for me to do this on one grid. You've got 34 lines to work with, 3 sides. That number there is important as to how far you've come. Okay, so there's either a blue or there's an interlock. Let's change the color and see what that does. It's still possible that this is a red interlock. Okay, we now know the color scheme for the code. There's a blue, a green, and 2 reds. As for the symbols, we don't know yet. Let's weed out the blue first. That also says, that tells us there are no blue eyes, but there are 2 eyes somewhere in the code. One of which is green, or both could be red actually. So, let's see if, so let's lock ourselves in here. Okay, 1 eye is red, 1 eye is green. We still do not know what the blue is. We know it's one of 2. The X or the hand. Alright. So, the 2 eyes, at least I would assume the 2 eyes are both out of position. So let's get them straight first. Actually, have I just fabricated the glitch? I may have. Actually, pretty possible. So I'm going to screenshot this. I'm also going to set this one song on repeat. Because I really like this song. Alright, so screenshot, pause. Okay. Untitled 1. Red eye is fine. What in the world happened with the green eye? May not even be a green eye. I may have misread this entirely. Let's see what that accomplished. Nothing. Is it a green hand? Green hand. One change at a time, just for the sake of demonstration. Is it this? No. Are they both hands? Yeah. Alright. Let's get the screenshot of this. Okay, bear with me a second, guys. I'm going to go into a bit of demonstration mode here. Alright, I'm going to switch modes here so I can show paint. Turn the music down a little further because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking for the next couple minutes. So here is Supreme Mastermind in a nutshell. Basically the same drill as ever to start out. You've got the 4 codes here. Watch the code as I do this. So we determined there were no whites and no stars, no orange and no crosses, no yellow, and no alien face, which automatically rules out the radiation symbol because it's the same 3 colors. So line 4 right here tells us that something has a 2 out of 3 factor correct. And being that we flooded the entire line with blues and this broken circle symbol we have here, we know that the position has to be right. We know that the color has to be right. So we knew that there was a blue something somewhere in this code, which turned out to be the blue hand. So the red would actually, well, be any of these really, but this one right here in slot 1 had correct color and correct position. The green line of the same symbol gave us the same thing, and that was slot 4. And then next line was all reds, gave us red, red. Now we switch the blue line to all eyes, which gave us 2 of the striped. Knowing what that means, slot 1, and if you look at the code, slot 3 is an eye of a different color. So that explains that. I'm going to use green dots now to represent things that are in exactly the right place, which is what it calculates first. One of them was, and that was the red eye in slot 3. The stripe would be the red eye in slot 2, which is just wrong symbol. Now, here's where things get just a little hairier. First, we have a striped red peg, which, as you can probably determine, would be the red eye in slot 1. It's in the code, it just belongs somewhere different. The white pegs... You know, the white pegs could actually even mean that one of the 3 factors is correct. If that's the case, then what we'd be looking at here is the fact that we have a green in the code. It just needs to be in a different spot and a different symbol. The green hand in slot 4. And then one of the blue X's should be a hand and in slot 1. So that would explain that much. Let's see. The red eye is mispositioned for 1 stripe on this line. And the blue X is missymboled in this slot. And then we have a green something which goes in another slot. Yes, so far this is pretty well explainable. Line 11, we have the red eye, again back in exactly the right place. And we have a green that needs to be changed colors, and a blue that needs to be changed colors. And when we swapped those 2, they both went yellow. They both went solid white off of stripes because we took the colors out of their positions. Okay, now I'm going to save that and drop this window. Yep, which will show the second. So picking up where we left off here. We started making the one at a time changes at this point on. So we can just say right on up the line, the red eye was right all along. We changed the one green here, which didn't do anything. When we changed this green to a hand, it became the right symbol and resulted in the striped peg. And then when we made the positional switch here, we moved this blue to its correct position. Well, we moved a blue to its correct position, so now this blue is the one considered for 2 out of 3. The hand is 2 out of 3. And this blue no longer counts. It probably honestly was factoring in the second blue as opposed to the fourth blue because it would be running position first. Hence the glitch that I'm trying to recreate. That's just the basic gist of it. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to display the full thing, but just so you have some understanding of what went on here. Then I moved the green hand to its proper place, resulting in the second solid red. Then the blue X remains in this position. I turned, you can't see it through the word, but I turned that X red, which resulted in that becoming a stripe. Oh, you know what? I think I understand the white. In the traditional Mastermind style, if it's a correct color in the wrong position, that's, regardless of symbol, that's how you get the white peg. That's probably why turning the blue into a red sent it straight from nothing to a stripe. That's the only way that that really makes any sense. Then, swapping those first two made them both yellow. Swapping them back and turning them both into hands gave us the right code. Hopefully I explained that eloquently enough that you have some idea how the logic of this one works. But regardless, I'm going to run through this a few more times. Just because this is probably about the most interesting mode of Mastermind out there. So let's try this again. See if anybody has an easier time following along with this one. Okay, so something is either white or a star. It is white. It is a white cross. We don't know if there are any yellows yet. Okay, the white cross is misplaced. We're going to press right along here. The white cross is still misplaced. It could also be that we just need to put the blue over here. Okay, so we've learned two things. One, the white cross goes in slot 4. And 2, whatever's in slot 3 is either blue or a circle. Use the third color and nip any confusion in the bud. Okay, this leads me to believe that there's a green and a red of some other symbol. Or they're both red. Wait, no, they wouldn't be. Let's do this. That's it? Hands on the water? Yep. Alright, now I'm getting the hang of it. How about you guys? Alright. I see. Okay, so again we have the color scheme. We don't know the symbols. So I'm going to get extravagant here and see if I can eliminate any wrong colors, any wrongly placed colors. Oh, gross. Took one away. Okay, red and green instead. Alright, that handled that. So this first blue is an eye and has been right all along. Let's try this symbol. It's right for two of them. So one of them's a hand. It's not the green one. Is it the red one? Yes. Out of all of these, this is the one mode that I really enjoy. Okay. Oh, fascinating. So this tells me one of them is a star. One of them specifically is a yellow star. The other two are yellow of some other symbol. If that holds up. Yeah. Two yellow radioactives. Oh boy. Alright, so that last piece is one of two. Sometimes it's easier than this makes it look. My goal for this is to be able to do it before even reaching wall 2. For the most part I can. Alright. We change the color of said stars. We discover that whatever this is, it's white. It's not a cross either. There's an alien face somewhere in this, but the bigger story is somewhere in the code is a white radioactive. So there's a white radioactive and a yellow alien face. So what I'm going to do, I know there are no orange stars in the code, so I'm going to use them as placeholders, which will allow me to properly position the two that I know are in this code. Which I have just done. This is a basic strategy you can use if you're just starting out. Ordinarily, I would go straight to the blue, green, red, while simultaneously repositioning those two. So now that you have them locked in, you can move on to the second half of the code. No blue. Okay. That says something is either green or an eye. I'm not going to be able to solve this one on one side, I don't think. Okay, something's green, something's red. The colors are right, the symbols are not. Hands on the water. Oh, what in the world? Okay. So 2 out of 3 red striped is considered before the solid white, which basically means that when I change the symbols, all of a sudden it's telling me that the colors are in the wrong place. Well, the colors were in the wrong place before, but I'm thinking it might have to do with the fact that they were the same symbol, which kind of throws it. This is really complex, and I'm not sure I can blame whoever made that glitch I found happen because of the complexity behind this whole thing. But yeah, you can see how tough this one really is to keep score of. I think there are only 2 left, after which I'm gonna cut this because I'll have done everything here. Ah, cool. Alright, that blue, or that white, actually tells us that a blue belongs up here. Alright, I've managed to fix 2 problems. First of all, the orange cross is in the right place. And now the blue eye in slot 2 should be correct. And whatever this third one is, whichever slot it is, it's also blue. Maybe not. Maybe I've just happened upon my glitch. I think I have. I will explain it momentarily, but first allow me to finish this code. Well, the blue eye is not where I thought it belonged. Yeah, this one is definitely worth the analysis, because I think I unearthed the glitch. Those two have got to be right. I think. What have I done wrong here? Alright, so something is blue and something is an X. You know what? Okay, this one is definitely interesting. Let's get paint back up. All right, let's try this again. We made determination early. White stars are no good. We captured slot 3. Okay, now let's analyze the others. So slot 4 was right color, right place, wrong symbol, hence the strike peg. And I'm thinking, yeah. So this first blue here belongs in slot 2. The color needed to be shifted, hence the white. After that, we made full lock-in determination. That's where the orange cross goes. And this time with blue in both of their proper slots, first blue is no longer considered. I then turned all the blues into eyes, which locked up slot 4. Again, sorry about the words here. And the second blue remained striped. Now, the next 3 lines are where things start to get really interesting. So, the first striped peg was this blue eye, which was mispositioned. And then here's what I believe happened here. I believe that it first looked at slot 1 and noticed that that blue was not in position. And marked it white. Where what it should have done was notice slot 4 first, that was in the correct slot for color. And bear in mind now they're the both. Wait a second. No. I changed my theory. So first it considered the orange cross that's in the correct position. Second, the second thing it considered is that this blue X here through the word done is the correct symbol but not in the correct place and correct color as well, because that exact configuration peg belongs in slot 2. Then it looked at slot 2 after that. That's the second striped peg because that belongs in slot 4. The last peg to look at is number 4, which is a blue that belongs elsewhere in the code. However, what should have happened was that that last white peg that you see on that line should be a striped peg as well. Because if you look carefully, slot number 1 is right color, right symbol, wrong place. Same with a blue eye in slot 2. But if you look here at the last peg, it's a blue in the correct position, just the wrong symbol. That should have been a striped peg. That's the glitch I was referring to. That's where it makes the phase of results incorrect. Then where it gets a little more confusing is where, again, you've got the orange cross in the right place. You know, to be totally honest, I'm really not sure where they went with this line here. Let me think. So, well, the two obvious stripes are the fact that blue and blue belong in different slots. But how the hell do you get a white peg out of that if it's just color? Because if you look in position 4, in the grand scheme of reality, it's the wrong color and the wrong color and the wrong symbol. Damn. It could be that, but no, that isn't. The problem is it's inconsistent in that ordinarily it's supposed to act like wrong color only because of traditional Mastermind logic. But for some reason it doesn't. I don't know how that would be miscoded, but it's definitely a miscode. It could be saying that it's right symbol, wrong color, wrong place. Yeah, you can see how there's a major skew on this mode, but at the same time, in terms of concept, it's incredibly fascinating. Now here's the other weird thing. I swapped those two, the blue and the green X's. So now we have our 3 stripes. Wrong position, wrong symbol, wrong color. Is everybody else here seeing exactly where the confusion lies? Now as you go on, I moved the eye to where it ended up belonging and kept it there. And now we have the blue hand here, which is right color and right position, wrong symbol. However, the green hand now represents nothing. Wrong symbol, wrong color. So you can see how position really determines how this thing is graded. And there are glitches just abound with it. We changed them then to green eyes, which took away the other stripe. And then, off of a very lucky guess, we wind up with this. There. So now, at least in some roundabout way, that glitch has been documented. And the whole world can observe it and know to watch out for it should they play this game. Call this Untitled 3. Alright, let's finish this final run. And I will be on my way for the evening. This looks familiar. Okay, so let's just take this easy. All right. There, I think I pretty much cracked it. All things considered, not a terrible score. And that, as they say, is that. So this has been Mastermind for Windows 95. Join us next time for something else. Have an alpha night.